All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? Let me go ahead and cut the music. Welcome back. Welcome back to your favorite source for bathroom break talk. I'm just joking. WMMA talk. Hashtag CB99 talks. It's episode 201. That's right. We breaking off into the 200s now. What's going on, y'all? What's up? What's up, Easy E? Air Mike in the building. Yeah, man. Where you been, man? I was like, where you been, man? He said, wow, I finally got to catch a live again. Yeah, man, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. I mean, maybe you've been busy, but and sometimes notifications don't go out like that, so I understand. But yeah, if you've been busy, hey, at least you've been checking in. I know you've been commenting on some videos every now and then, so good that you're still around, you know. But yeah, two beasts, what's up? Two beasts in the building. Y'all ready to get it in, man? Bunch of stuff to talk about here, man. I mean, I know we talk about the bantamweight division being so dry, but it seemed like it's starting to pick up to me. Like maybe I'm just like a positive person or a glass half full type of person. You know, some of y'all are glass half empties, but I see it as a glass half full. And I see some good stuff on the horizon, man. I mean, we got this bantamweight matchup coming up this Friday on LFA 211. Now, I'm telling y'all need to check out. If y'all didn't see that fight this past weekend, with my girl right here, Mac Judo. That's why I put it I put it right down here. Mac Judo on the come up. That was a good fight. I know BJ, he was on last Friday checking it out. He saw it. This little girl's a monster. This little girl's a monster right here. So yeah, I want to, discuss some LFA here because there's been some good fights. And this bantamweight matchup coming up in 3 days, 2 days. Yeah, it's a Friday night. I know it's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy, man. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. We're going to go in on this. This fight week is starting Friday. I almost forgot about this PFL card. For real, I thought it was July. So we got some PFL flyweights coming up. We got this main event coming up. Dia Mosquito and Den Woody. Bantamweight title fight. This weekend, you got two bantamweight fights. This UFC card, Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree. For me, it starts at noon Eastern time, so that's an early one for me. But I ain't gonna I'll catch the replay because I got work and I'm gonna be resting. So when that's going down, I am not gonna be watching these, on live. I'll come back and replay them and then maybe, jump back on and talk about them. But yeah, you got these bantamweight fights coming up. And then you just got a lot of bantamweight talk, period. Kayla Harrison's a target now. I know Easy E's favorite fighter, Eileen Perez. She's been talking junk, and I want to get my take on that. You got Cavalcanti calling out Irene Aldana. That's a good fight. You got Kel Rosa and Nora Cornola lined up. A lot of good stuff coming up, man. These are gonna be some good fights. I mean, these ain't gonna be like pay-per-view worthy fights, but you got some girls that are starting to take up the, they're starting to pick up that slack now, where it was just barren. It was just barren. There was nobody really we could see like a legit contender. But now, even with Eileen Perez, like I said, Eileen Perez really ain't somebody I'm a fan of. But knowing that she's getting better as a fighter is telling me that, okay, that she's trying to step her game up and, make some noise, right? And all the while, that'll make it even fun to watch when Kayla might destroy her. All right, I'm joking. Axel, what's up? Axel said, hey, everybody. Easy said, let's talk about Rose pulling 500,000, 500,000, 200 more than I can't believe that, man. That's wild. I thought she would have been on punishment still after that Carla Esparza fight. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, these fighters could make more. They should be making more, but more than Usman too. That's wild. Yeah, Air Mike Trio impressed me. I like her scramble I like her scramble in the first round. Let's go ahead and get into that, huh? Let's pull that up because these were two fights that were pretty much there were on my radar. But yeah, Air Mike, Mac Judo gets this finish, good finish. It was a good armbar, not in this particular position here, but she had this full extension with her legs when she almost looked like she about popped Sydney Trio's arm out of place. But I thought Sydney Trio did well. She made Judo fight and find different ways to look for submissions and, use her striking well. But overall, she was just a little overwhelming. It was good scramble in that first round by Sydney Trio. I thought, where she was able to kind of slam Judo to get the arm bar off. I think this was that point right here. And then she, I was actually looking at Sydney Trio first, like 2 or 3 years ago. I had been watching her first, and definitely not saying I've, lost interest in her as a fighter, but, I've definitely seen Sydney Trio as a dog. But I remember when she ran into Fatima Klein, Fatima Klein, that was a rough one, so Fatima Klein, that kind of showed me again, like she has trouble with some of these grapplers. Trio was a dog. She lifted Judo up. Yeah, when she lifted her up, like I was saying, when she lifted her up, it broke that arm bar, and she was able to get that top position and just kind of survive. And she landed some good shots in the second round. She did open up Judo's nose, but overall, Judo, man, that girl's got striking and pressure. I love her judo toss too, man. Like, I know as time goes on and experience comes in, it's going to be difficult head tossing girls because you might give up your back. But I think that overall, Judo is a little, she's a little like this miniature little pit bull in there, and she knows how to switch it up, and she's doing a little bit of everything. So I think I won't ever see her at a point where she gets exposed because she's striking now. She's wrestling now. She's grappling now. She uses judo as well. So, of course, she's going to run into people that might make her hiccup here and there. But to me, I think that Judo is a pretty solid little fighter right now. And I like to see her fight for that LFA belt. Let me see how old is she is, because I hate to see her rush into the UFC right now, because UFC is tough, though. She's 4-1, so really no rush. 4-1 at 25. Yeah, 4-1 at 25. Again, there really is no rush to me. I would love to see her win this belt, or maybe, and this is me talking. I always say this: look, when somebody wins an LFA, I know what they want to do. When they win the belt, they want to go straight to the UFC, or they want to go to the Contender Series, right? But I think if she wins the belt, win the belt at Invicta, win the belt somewhere else, and then come to the UFC. That's how I see it. But we'll see. I would like to see her fight maybe for the interim title here, LFA, or, just for the big title. I think it's vacant now, so either way is good. But I just want to see her get the experience for going to the UFC. No, she was in Bellator. I know people think Bellator fighters have a curse, but she's only 21. She's only 21. It's different. Like, she ain't spent her whole career there, like she's taking one loss in Bellator against Samiko Inaba, and won the other two. But, that was still as a young fighter. So she started in Bellator at a young age. Like, it wasn't like she was consistently just stuck there, There go Easy bring up. He said, I think seeing what happened to Patchy Mix has everybody on notice about jumping to UFC early. Maybe, but you see fighters that come from LFA do better though, right? Like, fighters that go from LFA, when they go from LFA to the UFC, or even like Invicta to the UFC, I mean, they become champions. I mean, look, Carla, Rose, all of them that came from Invicta, they became champions. LFA, Valentina, all of these fighters, right? Usman, so when you get stuck in Bellator though, and you start smelling yourself, that's a different story. Yeah, when you start repping like you better than everybody, I'm seeing it now. Like, just because you've been fighting over, I mean, look at Michael Venom Page. You can be a little bit cocky, but when you see that next level, man, the UFC's like, oh, it's a different animal. It's a different animal. So I think that with Judo, her being younger, she'll see different levels. And like, that girl, she fights like, a little killer too. Like, I don't think she's the type to really be overconfident. I like what I see from her though. Air Mike said, wasn't the finish a Scarfo arm lock? She nearly ripped the arms off. Yeah, you know it was. It was because she had her arm between her legs because they put it down as an arm bar. That's why I was like, was it an arm bar? No, it was a scarf hold because she had the leg arm between her legs and she extended it. And she tried it twice because she actually tried it in the first round. Remember, she tried it in the first round, but Sydney Trio, she broke out. But when she judo tossed her again in the second round, she got her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Patchy Mix did not look too good. He did not look too good. He looked very stiff. I don't know. He looked like somebody showing their age. You know what I mean? Like he almost looked like I can't even say like Jose Aldo because at least Jose Aldo he had his moments. You know what I mean? He had his time, but he wasn't looking too right. All right, so yeah, Rose Namajunas, she beats Miranda Maverick this past Saturday, earns 500,000. Easy said if they keep paying Rose like that, she'll never be champ again. Oh yeah, you get comfortable, right? I don't know though. Rose Namajunas in this victory, it wasn't like a clear victory. It was a victory, but uh Axel said, "Oh yeah, yeah, Daria, yeah, Daria, yeah, okay, that's his girl, Daria. Yeah, Daria's a good fighter. There's a Lesnikova, but yeah, Rose picking up another victory here in this division doesn't really tell me that she's ready for the belt still, but it definitely tells me that she still has her skill set. She's still a talented fighter. Like when I compare it to boxing, I'm trying to think, man. Like Easy E, who is a boxer that Rose reminds you of? Somebody that might not be good enough to win a belt, but still holds it down somewhat. Like I'm trying to think. Because even Miguel Cotto, he could still win some titles. But I'm trying to think. Danny Garcia, uh, like who's a boxer recently? I just can't think right now. Like who's a boxer? Like Rose reminds me of. Like she moved up in weight, but doesn't really have every single piece to win a belt. But she's still good enough to beat like a C and D level of fighter because her skill level is that good. Running Reed said, let's shout out the EFC ladies. Hopefully there'll be more women fights in the EFC. Yeah, I need to watch EFC more. I keep putting that out there. I need to watch EFC more because I'm going to start covering their fights too. There's a lot of good fighters in EFC. I mean, they're pretty exciting too. So I'm going to start checking it out. But Running Reed said, Rose is not beating these ladies in the top 5. Air Mike said Poirier. Yeah, probably like Poirier. Like Poirier, he could still beat guys like Saint Denis and cause like a little hiccup in somebody's hype train. Like I think Rose probably would have beat Macy Barber to me. Like the more and more I just kind of see like levels there. Like I could see like yes or no. Like Rose, she probably would have beat Macy Barber. Like if they fought last year, now I think about it. Because I'm just looking at her skill level here and the way Macy kind of been half stepping in some of these fights, I probably would have I ain't putting no money, but yeah, I would have said Rose probably would have beat Macy as well. Like she'll beat them girls. Yeah, Fernando Vargas, somebody like that. Yeah, like Fernando Vargas, a fighter like that. That you know when when the fighters are around them, they have some good moments. So like the fighters around them are like a certain level. Yeah, they do well, but when it's time to step it up, it's not her fault. Like it's not her fault because some of these girls are just bigger and better, and they were already acclimated to this division. So seeing how she fought Miranda just kind of showed me that again. It just kind of showed me that level again. Like even Miranda like almost had some success in here. Like I didn't think it was a robbery though, man. I mean, like I just didn't think it was 30-27. What about y'all? BJ, what's going on, man? BJ from No Filter MMA in the building. What do y'all think, man? Like I didn't think it was like, yeah, 500,000 though. Yeah, real quick, I wanted to jump on that. Yeah, 500,000. That's a pretty good payday for her, though. I mean, for a co-main event and still fighting at this level. I mean, it just kind of shows you that they still see her as a solid fighter, someone that's still entertaining. Um, because compared to some fighters, yeah, like she's made that's good bank compared to some of the other fighters. Even like you said, Usman, like I'm surprised she made more than Usman at this point. But that lets you know, man, like when she gets that next fight with like Grasso, she might be making more than Grasso in the fight. But her and Grasso might be making the same thing. Like that's a fight she called for, right? I know y'all heard, with Rose winning this fight, she wants one more before getting the title shot to see if she can get back in there. And she's shooting up there again for a top 5, man. She said Natalia's name. So we can't say, nobody can say Rose trying to duck Natalia, even though I think Natalia would, at this point, I think Natalia would obliterate her, man. But she mentioned that name, but I don't think Natalia need to fight down like that. Like at most, Natalia could fight Aaron if she wanted to. Like if they did the Valentina Whaley fight, I think Natalia should just say, "Oh no, let me fight Aaron." But yeah, that Natalia fight, that ain't one. I don't think she should go down for. And for Rose's health, it's not a good fight. Alexa, on the other hand, sure. I wanted Manon and Alexa, but actually, like, since most of y'all kind of opened my eyes to it too, I resume check. I did a resume check again, just mentally, and I said, you know what? Grasso hasn't won a fight in 2 years. She's been fighting the champion, but she hasn't won a fight in 2 years. On a 2-fight losing streak. So actually, Manon doesn't deserve to fight that type of fight. She actually still deserves to fight somebody that's legit. Because Manon, she's only lost once to the champion in the UFC. Since she's been in the UFC, like people going to try to knock Manon, but no, I'm still rocking with Manon. And the thing I'm going to say about Manon is only lost one fight. She only lost one fight, and that was against the champ. And Manon still beats a lot of the other girls. So I think, Manon Jasmine fight to me makes more sense right now. And because that's a legit fight for Manon to beat somebody that's on a 5-fight win streak and get her back into the mix. Grasso won 2023 in March. That's the last time she's tasted victory. Retained her belt with a draw against the Bullet, then lost it last year and loses wide, dominant decision to Natalia Silva. So since her nice run, she hasn't had a win in 2 years. So even though she's still in the top 5, to me, that says, okay, Rose is a doable fight. Rose just won this fight. She lost to Aaron. Well, let's meet in the middle. Grasso and Rose meet in the middle. Because again, yeah, like Manon would beat Grasso, in my opinion, at this point with the way she's been looking. But I don't think that, even though they are near each other in the rankings, that's really a fight that would benefit Manon at this point. Just off of name. But as far as strength, I would give her somebody like Jasmine to show that she still has it. But Grasso, she's got to prove she still has it against somebody like Rose, right? So yeah, just a little dissecting there. I was just like, you know what? When Rose called for that fight, I was like, yeah, because I always wanted to see that matchup. I always wanted to kind of see that matchup as well. Paul, what's up? Paul said, what's going on, everybody? What's up, Paul? You just in time. This ain't a I was gonna say, I mentioned Macy Barber one time, but I was like, I'm not gonna keep doing it. Axel said they don't. What is it? They doesn't Grasso gotta wait. What does that mean? Axel said Manon's coach said that the UFC doesn't want to book her with Grasso. Oh, they don't want to book her with Grasso. Grasso got another loss, which makes sense. That makes sense. I can see it at this point. It just made sense that night when they both lost and they both hit. I saw their faces in there. I was like, "Ooh, wow, maybe they need to fight each other." But no, I think that, yeah, when you really look at paths, though, like Manon's path isn't really something horrendous. Nah, like she just lost to the champion. That's all. So she can get right back in there. Grasso about to get cut. Whew, dang, easy, hard. No, he said he's just joking. Everybody said Rose does not want that smoke with Natalia. He said, I've been saying this. That's not a fight a lot of girls, I don't think they need. They don't. They don't need that fight. Natalia would destroy Rose running ring. He said, Easy said, let Silva run those hands on Rich Rose. He said, shake her down, man. He said, turn her upside down by the ankles and shake that money out. Yeah. Um, that would be a main event, though. That'd be a good UFC fight night main event. I wouldn't even put that on a pay-per-view card. I'd put Silva versus Namajunas. That's quality main event right there for flyweight. BJ said, I don't know if Natalia starches Rose, though. Yeah, I don't know if she starches, but I think that mentally it would drain. It's a mentally draining fight and a beating like the Grasso fight, kind of. The thing is, like, Rose has more of a ground game, too sneaky ground game. She's slippery, you know. She's not going to come straight forward like Grasso did. That's the danger there, you know. Timing is a big thing in Rose's arsenal. Timing is a big thing. So I actually think Rose will have more of a chance than Grasso, but when it all comes down to it, it's a very, very slick style that some of these girls that aren't really used to, which is very many, would have trouble with. Natalia's too hungry. Yeah, Natalia's too hungry. Rose is eating good food right now. He said bad matchup for Rose right now. Yeah, I think just mentally and like physically, every part of Natalia is just like, you ain't beating me right now. Except the champion. The champion, Valentina, is the only one that's going to be like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to whoop you, you know? And that's where Natalia Silva and Valentina becomes a really good matchup, right? Manon was hungry. Aaron was hungry. But the thing is, Natalia's hungry where there ain't no girl fighting now going to even step in her way right now. I'm sorry to say, even like Aaron, like, love Aaron, but hey, that's a bad style matchup right now. I mean, but if any fight gets done, I'd rather see Natalia and Aaron before I see Natalia. I like to see Natalia and Aaron before Natalia and Rose, really. Axel said no one is calling out Manon. Not really. Even after that loss, I haven't even heard Jasmine. Jasmine said she wants to fight Aaron and Macy, but Grasso hadn't even said that. Rose is the only one that said that's a rematch she would want. So I would say Rose is still calling that name. She would still want that name, even though I don't think she would beat her, but she's still calling that name. But overall, like, I'm surprised, yeah. Like, she got a number 2 spot. No, yeah. Because Grasso's number 3. Running Ring said, I honestly thought and think Macy could beat Rose. I don't know. I really don't know. I think the better the ground game, like fighters like Aaron have, and the bigger and stronger they are, and they know how to use it, they kind of give problems to her at this point in her career at this division, you know. But yeah, overall, I think that Rose kind of grown into the division enough to, you know, hold it down for where she's at and kind of fall in the rankings and always be like a fighter that can still beat girls and be that test. I guess, like I'm saying, a gatekeeper. But as far as breaking in top 5, just got to see a little bit more. That's all. I mean, that too. Aaron might said Jasmine beats Rose. I mean, I could see that. I could really see that, man. I could see Rose being pinned down by that big girl, man. What about y'all? Like, early look at that. What do y'all think? I Jasmine's she get dirty too. I like Jasmine. I do. What y'all think about that fight? Because Jasmine Aaron is a good fight too. Like, Jasmine and Aaron, that girl, she like to bully, man, and it's all right. Easy said something earlier. I know he tagged my name. Okay, he said, I remember when people thought Vargas would kill Oscar. Oh, yeah, I remember that fight. That was 2005. I remember that fight. Oscar knocked him out in the 5th round, I believe, right? Left hook. No. I'm thinking of Mayorga. I'm thinking of Mayorga when Oscar came back to knock Mayorga out. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, same thing with that. Yeah, I remember that fight. Oscar skills was just too much for him, you know? I'm looking forward to Whaley versus Aaron. Aaron might say I'm almost looking forward to Whaley versus Aaron than Aaron versus Valentina. I mean, I would take that fight. I would take that fight because I think that not because Aaron talks too much, but because if Whaley want to move up, I want to see her fight another 125 pounder first. That's all. But yeah, what do y'all think, man? Aaron, yeah, because Aaron might say Jasmine beats Rose, but what do y'all think, man? Does Aaron beat I mean, does Jasmine beat Rose, or what do you think? Oh man, I think it's a fight that Jasmine could kind of win now just because of her durability and size, man. I don't think she'll ever beat like a Natalia Silva or Manon, but I think she'll beat that type of fighter. Aaron, that's almost a 50-50 type of fight, though. It is. But yeah, man, that was this past weekend. We had some good stuff going on. Yeah, Running Ring said Jasmine. I know that. Jazzy Vicious. All right. This weekend, what's going on? I know Friday. Friday we got this PFL card. All right. Just so y'all know, this PFL card. Let me pull it up here. PFL. Yeah, Friday at 8:30. Friday at 8:30, we got this PFL semifinal tournament. No Dakota this time, right? We got Jenna Bishop taking on Katerina Shakalova, who moved all the way down from like bantamweight and featherweight for this tournament. And she looked good in her victory, too. She did. Then you got Liz Carmouche taking on Alora Dana. All right. I think this one's going to be a little bit more competitive, of course. Liz Carmouche, Alora Dana. Well, first off, Jenna Bishop and Shakalova, that's going to be interesting when it gets to the ground. That one is really going to be interesting when it gets to the ground here because both of these fighters are strong. Jenna Bishop, I think, she's a really tough fighter, especially on the ground with her jiu-jitsu. But Shakalova, since she moved down, she doesn't look weight drained. She's been really strong on the ground and like really quick. I mean, what she get that first round finish in her last fight? Hold on. It was quick. What did she get? A submission, I believe. Yeah, it was Juliana Velasquez, right? She finished Juliana Velasquez. And she ain't that big. I mean, she was short. She was shorter. She got on the inside quick, took Velasquez down and submitted her. Yeah, rear naked choke. So I think it's going to be interesting here. The scrambles, transitions, because Jenna's a black belt. So really, it's kind of 50-50 on the ground. Striking wise, I think Jenna has pretty good combinations. Shakalova, though, I think she might have a little bit more power because I think maybe her power carried down. What's up, Robot Chicken? He said, I'm taking Shakalova. I'm kind of leaning towards Shakalova, too. I love Jenna Bishop, but just being real down the middle here, like, as far as like power wise too, I'm kind of leaning towards Shakalova because I think her power is carrying down. She seems pretty strong here at this weight, but I'm not sure. I think it will end though. I just don't know which way. I think it will be a finish on either side here because they both fight to finish too. Jenna's just been in there with some really tough fighters lately, like Tyler Santos, who she couldn't finish, of course, Dakota, when she couldn't even get her hands on like that. But yeah, I just think that that's going to be one that ends in a finish because they both fight that way when they get on the inside. Liz Carmouche and Alora Dana. Okay, he said you're going for, everybody said he's going for Alora Dana. Alora Dana, I think, is a fighter that, yeah, I'd love to see, get her, get hers. She's on the come up. I believe she's undefeated too. She's 6-0, 8-0 right now. Came over from what is it called? Jungle Fight. Oh man, yeah, she stopped Abzeragova real quick. Neck crank. I remember that. And she's got a number of finishes on her resume. But thing is, she's dealing with some experience, man. This is gonna be rough for her because Liz Carmouche, man. Liz Carmouche just good all the way around too, man. Like at her age, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not mentioning to be funny, and I'm just saying like it's somebody in their 40s too. Like sometimes you just hit a prime or you just start really taking care of yourself. 41, I think, she looks real good and like looking better and more confident in her fight game than she ever has. So and it might just be like I said, just how it's going, how it's been going with her, like as far as like really falling into her style, getting into what she's finally just being at the right weight and having more confidence in her style. So I think Liz Carmouche is really going to be tough for a newcomer here. I do lean towards Liz Carmouche in this fight. I'd hate to see her get a finish over Laura Dana because I hate to see Laura Dana get crushed like that, man. But I just think Liz Carmouche is I think she's got it covered all around on the feet, clinch game, ground game, everything, man. So I go with Liz Carmouche. I think it's going to come down to Liz Carmouche and probably might be her and Shakalova here, man. It might be down to her. And then taking it all away, it might be Liz, man. That's how I see it. Robot said, "How's B Will?" I don't know. I'm not sure. Haven't heard from him. Hope everything's well. Haven't heard from him. Everybody says Shakalova with. Oh, he's Jenna. He's on. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, he's going to wrestle. Just out wrestle Jenna Bishop. Yeah, she's pretty fast at this weight. Just when I was looking at her, even online and training, and even in her last fight, she didn't seem weak from the move down. I mean, it fits her size and her height and her frame. Easy said not being in this tourney is low key making Dakota look weak. You think so? I don't think it her fault. Like I thought Dakota did. Did they not want Dakota to be, or did she choose not to be in it? To me, I don't think it makes her look weak. To me, I think it doesn't really do much for her. To me, in my opinion, like if Dakota was in this tournament, I mean, we kind of would know what would happen. Then again, I don't know, man, because this girl right here, Shakalova, might be a problem. I don't know, yeah, because Shakalova was fighting at a heavyweight too, so Shakalova could be a problem. Like, had Dakota could have been down there. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Easy. Now that I'm talking out loud, I see what you're saying. Like, if she came through this tournament, she could have fought Liz this time around, or she could have fought Shakalova. I see what you're saying. I don't think it makes her look weak though, because we've seen what she's done. I mean, most of y'all were calling her out before I was, right? Like, y'all weren't saying it, but I mean, I still want to see something though. Like, I still don't say she's UFC champion right now, but she is looking like a threat. But yeah, the thing is, I just think, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. The tournament would be a nice way to get back in there and just stay active. And they had a couple of new names. Tyler had to pull out. So you have this girl, Katarina, and you have Liz. Those are new, right? Those are some new names, Okay, Bernardo said, what's up, Bernardo? He said Dakota wanted to be in it. The PFL wouldn't allow her to be in it because she won last year. Oh, okay. All right, thanks. I forgot about that. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't her fault. So yeah, if she wanted to be in it and they didn't let her, that is kind of unfair because now how can she stay active? And that kind of tells you too, like, okay, if she won it last year, do y'all think she's going to win it easy this year again? I mean, do y'all feel like y'all are giving her easy fights then? Were y'all setting her up? That's the question. Like, okay, were y'all giving her easy people? I mean, they give her some of the same fighters. Like, y'all giving her the losers in the tournament. Like, I did call that out. Like, y'all weren't giving her the winners. Y'all were giving her the people that lost, like Chelsea Hackett and Jenna Bishop, who had lost against Tyler. So that's not her fault. I mean, this time around, she could have came in and fought some legit people like Liz and Katarina. So yeah, that was kind of messed up on them then. Yeah, if they didn't let her in, like, because every time Kayla came in, Kayla fought how many times? She fought her tournament at lightweight 3 times. They let Kayla do it 3 times, right? She became 2-time champion. Could have became 3, but Pacheco finally got her. She finally got that victory. But yeah, if she wanted to be in it, to me, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. It didn't seem like they have anything else lined up for her. Either that or let her go to the UFC. Paul said Shakalova might be a problem for Dakota. What about Liz? Oh yeah, Liz definitely. Both of them. Both of them. Yeah, you must miss me saying that. Yeah, I said Liz. Liz is definitely a problem. That's why I was saying, like, if she had came in here, she would have had legit people, Shakalova and Liz, whoever wins. Because Liz got Liz, Liz got the resume and experience. It's definitely a problem. Mm. Everybody said, dude, I exactly thought the same thing about Shakalova. She could be a problem for Dakota if she catches her. If she can get on the inside, yeah. If she could get on the inside, yeah. PFL knows she wants to leave. I would have made her fight an attorney if I still hold her contract. You fight who I say. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, she wanted to fight in it. From what Bernardo was saying, she wanted to fight in. And yeah, I remember that. I remember talking about that. Yeah, they did drop the tournament money from 1 million to 500,000. Yeah, so I don't know if that was a thing too. Maybe there was like she probably ain't gonna fight for 500,000, but hey, it ain't about the money right now. It's about her activity because she's a young fighter that's got to eat, and I mean like in the cage, right? So my picks in this tournament so far. Mm, 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 mm. Might have to go with Shaka Khan, and Liz. What about y'all? Who's y'all's picks in this tournament? I don't know though, man. Bishop is a dog though. Bishop is a dog, but Shakalova, man. Let me think. Easy over there. Hey, stop pocket watching Rose, man. Get out Rose's pockets, man. Keep on talking about her 500,000, man. Let her get her 500,000, man. Like, she probably negotiated that and they gave it to her. So get out her pockets, man. He over there tripping about her 500. I mean, when I first heard it too, man, I was like, dang, she got more than Usman. She got more than Buckley too. She got more than the main events. Oh yeah, I was like, oh, you know why? I was like, what? How y'all get more than the main? Usman should have suplex Rose, man. He's like, give me that check, man. How you get more than me? Because I signed that check over to Usman. Liz is dangerous, but I think positively she'll want to strike, and Dakota would spark her on the feet before any wrestling sequences. Yeah, it all depends on how you can take a shot. It all depends how you take a shot. Paul said Liz takes the whole thing. She's just on a different level of experience and toughness. Yeah, this might be her tournament, man. She might get this whole thing. Like, Liz, I don't think is. There's still questions about everybody else, like where they are. Of course, Lord Dana's new. Ekaterina, I don't know. Like, is the weight ever going to be a problem? Jenna, defensive wise, some things she needs to work on that haven't fully been in there. Liz has just been proven, man. Like, Liz been in the UFC. Liz come from that UFC back. See, you can come from the. I know most of y'all agree with me on this. Like, you can come from the UFC and go to Bellator and dominate, but you can't go from Bellator to the UFC and dominate. Am I right or wrong? Liz had an okay career in the UFC though. She wasn't champion, but she had some names. But she took that experience and dominates Bellator, right? But you cannot go from Bellator and dominate the UFC. That's just not happening. Yeah. She's gonna big sister these girls, starting with my girl Alora Dana. Aramite plot twist. Samiko Inaba finishes Dakota Ditcheva a few seconds. In a few seconds. If that happens, oh man, so many people are going to be crying. I won't cry, but I'll be a little bit like, wow, man, go ahead and sign Umiko Inaba straight to the UFC. If Dakota loses, man, BJ, he probably gonna have a party because BJ is actually picking Samiko Inaba. BJ is actually picking Samiko Inaba to beat Dakota here. So, I mean, if that happens, it's be like, everybody said don't do a Laura like that. Hey, Paul said it. Paul the one said she gonna big sister her, so I'm just saying. Easy said Michael Chandler couldn't even dominate. Oh, no. And nope, not Pitbull. And oh, not Patchy. Man, I thought Patchy went to school with his striking too after seeing that fight with Suarez and Wei Lee, man. I thought he was going to look a little different, man. But wow. It was something totally different. Okay, so yeah, all right. Paul said he's got Liz taking this whole tournament. All right, so he thinks Liz got it all the way across the board, no matter who it is. This fight here this weekend, I'm telling y'all, Bia Mosqueda and Den Woody, y'all need to check this fight out. It's gonna be good. I don't know if y'all seen Bia Mosqueda, like a BJJ legend. You know, she took out, what's her name? Yeah, she took out Misha Tate real quick. Misha Tate tried to come over to what was that grappling tournament? It was like a couple years ago. It was on UFC Fight Pass grappling tournament with Misha Tate, and Misha Tate got armbarred real quick, almost like Ronda Rousey. It was like a flashback. Bia Mosqueda took her out quick. She took Misha out quick. And this girl, she choked out Jennifer Maia real quick. Jennifer Maia wanted to step in. I think this was after Jennifer Maia left the UFC. Jennifer Maia tried to jump in there. She got choked out real quick. So after these little grappling things she's been doing, you know, she decides to sign over to do some MMA. You know, she jumped into LFA. You know, she started doing some mixed martial arts. You know, she's 34 years old, started about 32. And they kind of been feeding her some easy people, I say. You almost say easy. You know, they gave her some on the level touches. I'll say that because everybody she fought was brand new like her. She fought some 0-0 people, 2-4. She fought that girl Hope Chase, who has more experience than most on her resume. You know, you see Hope Chase fighting Invicta. I think Bia Mosqueda, you know, is still a growing fighter. Definitely dangerous on the ground. Definitely dangerous. But as far as her hand game, I don't really see like a big threat yet. But it's when she gets you down. She's kind of like Jacqueline Amram, you know, not really solid on the hands, but once she's got a hold on you and she gets you down, she will submit you like that. You know, her first couple fights were rear naked chokes, and the Hope Chase fight was kind of turning into a moment where Hope was about to get submitted, but there was an illegal kick there that ended the fight. All right, that illegal kick ended the fight. Some people say that Hope did it on purpose to avoid getting submitted, but I don't know. But yeah, she submitted her first couple of opponents, and yes, I'd say yeah, she's a submission threat. I remember in her first fight, she almost got knocked out by a girl though that had hands. You know, I don't know about her chin, her defense yet, but again, yeah, she's still growing. 4-0. All right. Now, this is my girl right here. I like this girl's style. Sierra Dinwoody. She is a 4-0 as well. I see a little bit more in her game. Like I've seen her doing a little bit more as far as like stand up, clinch game, ground game, a little bit more of a mixed martial artist I can see from her. You know, good kickboxer too. She's got to win over Hope Chase. I mean, she took Hope Chase to school. Though. I thought she did well on the feet, ground game. She took Hope down a few times. You know, this girl's tall and long, like almost like Megan Anderson, but she's not afraid to get down on the ground like that. Like you really won't like mix her limbs up and get her all wobbly and down on the ground. Like Sierra Dinwoody is pretty tough. Like she'll take you down. Like she's got a good clinch game too, tie clinch. You know, she's got a submission. She's got a knockout win. Like I said, she beat Hope Chase with everything, you know, ground and on the feet. Won her last fight by a pretty good margin on the decision. She's 4-0. So really this fight could it could go either way here, depending on how Sierra Dinwiddie falls into the, depends on how she falls into the fight plan. I just say Dinwiddie has a good ground game, but I think that she don't need to give Bia Mosquito any chance. Just stay on her feet, use her striking, take this girl to school and try to knock her out. That's it. Because you try to prove who has the better ground game, that's how you get submitted. I think Bia Mosquito's chances are great on the ground, trying to muscle her way in and take this fight to the ground. This is basically striker versus grappler. Except the one thing I know is Dinwiddie has a both ground game and a striking game. It just doesn't need to be shown in this fight. She just needs to be pure striker and stay on her feet. But knowing she has more skills, I think Dinwiddie could win this fight. I'm just a little worried about her falling her into that game plan, man. Falling into her game plan. Because when you fall into that clinch game, try to take her down, she will submit you. Bia Mosquito's that good. Like, she's always fishing for submission. She's that tough, man. Like, when it gets to the ground. Not so much on the feet. She can be beat. But going by who's more well-rounded, I'll go with Sierra Dinwiddie. That's kind of a fan pick, too. But I think I'll go with her because I think she's a little bit more solid than all the other opponents she's faced. She's done a little bit of everything. So I see Dinwiddie winning the fight. Everybody said Bia Mosquito is a world-class elite submission grappler, but MMA is MMA. Exactly. Like, just stay away from her ground game. You should be good. MMA is different. I see Dinwiddie being more of a mixed martial artist. So I'll go with Dinwiddie to win the belt here. I think she'll get it. All right. So, yeah, y'all check that fight out. It's on Friday, LFA, around 9 o'clock. I'm going to try to catch it because I'm, getting some work in, but I'm going to try to have it playing. I'm going to have that and PFL playing in the background. I'll be jumping back and forth, though. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's a good bantamweight fight, and I think that'll lead to somebody getting signed, man. I think that'll lead to somebody getting signed to the UFC. Bia Mosquito, she's 34, too. She's trying to get in the UFC. She's trying to get in there. So is this Dinwiddie, And I think Dinwiddie would bring some I think she brings some, some flair over here to the UFC right now. All right. But with that being said, we got some more bantamweight action coming up this weekend on let's pull up some fights here. Oh, there we go. What we got? I know this card starts at like 12 noon Eastern time. This is on the Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree. So let's talk about this fight weekend, Okay, so Khalil Roundtree, Jamal Hill. These are the first couple fights on the card, too. So at 12 noon Eastern, I'll definitely miss it. But y'all make sure y'all check it out. You got Daria Zalesnikova. First fight is Irina Axleva versus Claudia Sigula. Y'all remember her, right? The Russian Ronda. She actually got popped. If y'all been looking for her, she got popped. So, yeah, she's back in action now. Let me see how long it's been since she's been in the cage. Irina Axleva, her last fight was against Melissa Mullins back in October of 2023. Wow. Yeah. And that was a good fight. That was a good action-packed fight. So, yeah, she popped right after her second fight. So now that she's back, she's taking on Claudia Sigula, who lost her first fight against Melissa Mullins. They both lost to Melissa Mullins. These are Melissa Mullins' daughters. Dang, Melissa Mullins just started into the UFC, and she already got daughters, too. She's got Irina Axleva and Claudia Sigula's daughters. Claudia, I seen like her fights, like some of her early fights. She's only had like 2. I think no, it was like 4 or 5. A lot of amateur fights, I believe. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, a lot of amateur fights, but did I see 2 of her fights? Can't remember because she's 6-2. Like I seen maybe a couple of her pre-UFC fights. She's a good size bantamweight, like 5'8", pretty thick, good size flyweight. But the UFC level is the UFC. It's still a different level. This girl, Alex Leva, I know her fighting style is to come in there and fight for the finish. She kind of got that Connor style where she be swinging and trying to set up strikes from a distance, and then boom, she can surprise you with some takedowns with her judo, and she looks for that submission. Alex Leva, I think, is more of a problem all around here as far as just like that pressure. I have to go back and see some of this Claudia girl's fights. Like Claudia Sigula, she seems kind of more like I don't want to say just like a soft girl, but I don't know how well she handles pressure like that, because Melissa Mullins put pressure on her and she finished her in two. She finished her. I mean, she was putting that work in on her. So when I look at somebody that's like Alex Leva here, who likes to get down and dirty, I can kind of see Alex Leva pulling the victory here, whether it be on the feet with one of those overhand rights or submission game, So Alex Leva looks like my pick, but you just never know. I hope that both fighters make weight, because I think Alex Leva has some issues making weight a couple of times, I believe. Ermite says Sigler is good with submissions. Let me check out her resume here real quick while I pull that up. All right, Robot said he's back in the building. Easy said, I saw Pena's interview today. Just sad, all that junk she talked, and now she respects Kayla so much. We're going to talk about that, Easy. Paul said odds are correct. No mess, and Ronda Rousey going to win. Russian Ronda going to win. Yeah, Russian Ronda to me has more of a chance, Ermite. I'm looking at the resume here. Yeah, Claudia Sigler has some submissions. That seems to be her thing, but Alex Leva has a pretty good submission game. I'm looking early in her career. Yeah, she's got a heel hook and an arm bar. She's finished a lot of fights by decision. So I kind of have to look at her grappling skills just to see what kind of ground control time she's had and what kind of submission attempts she's made. If I can find a lot of these early fights, I'm gonna try to check it out tonight. But I know Melissa Mullins kind of overwhelmed her, and I kind of see Alex Leva doing that too. Alex Leva's been out for a while, and I know she's ready to get back in there. I know she's mostly been on IG just posting goofy stuff, like not really a lot of training stuff, because I guess since she got popped, she was just like, I'm chilling, just doing whatever. But now that she's back, she got to make the most of it, because Bantamweight division right now, everybody's trying to make a statement. So that being said, I think Alex Leva is going to win the fight. Not really a fight that's going to, I think, showcase anything from her, like as far as making me say, oh yeah, she's ready. But if Sigler can win this fight, that'll keep her career afloat. I hate to see her go 0-2 right now. All right. Okay, Daria Zalesnikova and Melissa Mullins. All right, Axel, my girl is Melissa Mullins. Who said that girl is Daria Zalesnikova? All right, my girl is Melissa Mullins. Used to be Melissa Dixon, I believe. I like Melissa Mullins. This is actually a rematch. It's crazy, man. We got girls rematching already. I kind of figured this rematch would happen, though. This is a rematch of an Aries FC fight that took place like 2 or 3 years ago. Daria Zalesnikova finished Melissa Mullins real quick. I won't say real quick, but it was like by the end of the first round. It was kind of a controversial stoppage. So maybe that's why they're letting them do it again. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, man, because hold on. Daria Zalesnikova. Yeah, Zalesnikova won. Melissa won the first time. And it was kind of a controversial stoppage. It was like a ground and pound. It's on YouTube. If y'all want to check it out. But Melissa Mullins stopped her, and it was considered an early stoppage, right? So I figured these two would meet each other again at some point. Maybe I figured down the line, but right now it's not bad either. I mean, they had Cavalcanti and Nora Cornell run it back. So why not, right? Because they're all still kind of like in their statement stage here. Like right now with the way the pickings are, I mean, you can still match these girls up and have them fight again. It ain't no thing, because nobody really seen the first fight. And the first fight was controversial, right? Yeah, Paul said I forgot about the early stoppage. 1 second left. Yeah, the referee stopped it. Yeah, it was like 1 second left because I remember it's coming to me now. Like it was a point where she was on the ground. It was some ground and pound, and that referee he jumped in right there. Bell was about to ring, man. So I was like, wow. And Darius Lesnikova, she's got heavy hands too. Like she's got that long reach. Melissa, she comes with combinations. She's got a pretty solid ground game too. She's got good takedowns, good boxing. I think just her defense is kind of lacking. That's why you see her coming out busted up sometimes. She got finished by Nora Cornell herself. So it's kind of one of them fights like where if it stays on the feet, I really don't know who's gonna win this one. Like like it's all who lands the sweeter punch here, you know. But I think Melissa's done a little bit more as far as adding to her arsenal since she got into the UFC first. She's had how many fights? One, two, only okay. Most was only 2-1 in the UFC, and that was after winning that fight against Daria. She's only gone 2-1, so it's not like she has like a whole bunch of fights. Like she's not too far ahead of Daria. Daria is 1-1, and she fought one more fight, Aries FC. So she's 1-1, she's 2-1. So they're not too far off from experience here. So this is still a fight that could turn into a barn burner here, man, where they could really be going at it. I like this matchup here. I think it's going to probably be it might be the fight of the night for the WMMA fans here. So I'm going to go with Melissa Mullins, though, man. I think that you might see her get some takedowns in here if she starts to get outstruck, because she can do that. But when it comes to like mixing it up, that's where I think it becomes kind of even. Let me see if I can post that first fight here in the comment section. Hold on. Access to my girl is Daria, and I hope she get her revenge against Mullins. Daria has no ground game. Right, Robot. Yeah, Daria doesn't have ground. See, Melissa has a ground game. Melissa does have a ground game. She's able to get some good takedowns in these fights. Even against Irina Aksleva, she had some good ground control time in that fight. Had she been able to do that against Nora Cornell before that body kick, she probably would have done the same thing. But I see Melissa Mullins rolling a lot now, even in training. She's doing a lot of good grappling. But yeah, she'll be able to switch that level. Daria needs to like keep her fight at a distance. That long reach and heavy hands. But yeah, I do too. I think I'm gonna go with Melissa Mullins here. It'll be more of a convincing win here, no controversy, hopefully. But let me see if I can put the fight here in the comment section. Melissa Dixon. Daria, Melissa Dixon. Let's see if they have it on YouTube still. Daria Lesnikova. That is not one easy name to spell. Daria Lesnikova. Let me copy and paste it. That's what I'm doing right now. Forget that. Okay, let's see. I think her name was Dixon then, right? Melissa Dixon. Ah, there it is. Well, there's 45 seconds of it. It was on the Aries page. Man. Okay, hold on. Oh, good right hand by Zelensky. Dang, Zelensky Cole was laying in some big right hands on Melissa. Dang, some heavy right hands. Wow. Zelensky Cole was beating the tar out of Melissa Mullins. Them some heavy shots. Good clinch game from Daria. I forgot about this action. Oh, good takedown by Melissa. Uh-oh. Full mount. Heavy elbows by Melissa. Flurry. There was a clap. She's surviving. He stopped the fight. That was terrible. Those shots weren't even doing that much damage, man. That was crazy. Oh, wow. That was crazy, man. But Daria was landing some big punches, though. Daria was landing some heavy shots. Hold on. Y'all want to look at that quick play right there? I'll put it right there. Okay, just a second. Wait a minute now. Paul said, not Paul. Robot said Paulo Costa ducked our boy Coppola. What did he? Is that fight off? Did he reject it? Nah, man, that's a mess right there. Mm-mm. Bad enough I don't like Paulo Costa. Bad enough I don't like him, but now you duck my boy Kopolov. Mm-mm. Trying to duck that beat down, man. Wow, how you gonna pull out of that fight, man? He's gonna knock that hair off his head. Tay Tay said, "Hey, what's up, Tay Tay? What is going on?" Mm-mm. Robot, man, that's terrible. I was looking forward to that fight. I was really looking forward to that fight, man. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a bad stoppage that first time around. Maybe he was just looking at it like, oh, she's done. But when you hear that clap, that 10-second clap, and you don't see the fighter like that hurt or in danger, because Daria was still moving. Daria was trying to evade shots. She was moving around trying to evade shots, and she it wasn't like her body just went limp after eating a whole bunch of shots. Daria was still alive in that fight, and if I heard 5 seconds, I knew she was trying to survive to make it out of the round. I would have let her keep going. I wouldn't have let her. I wouldn't have stopped the fight like that. And the fight was looking competitive from what I was seeing again. Like just going back and looking at that last part of the round, man, Daria was landing some good shots. And that's why I think Melissa's going to take the fight to the ground here. Melissa will take it to the ground if she's, in that type of scramble or, that type of exchange. That's why that fight's going to be 50-50, but I do lean toward Melissa again. This time a little bit more legit and win. Yeah, I think both of these fights are going to end in finish pretty much. I think Alex Silva might get a finish. Sigler might get a finish. I think there's going to end more in a submission. TKO or submission for Zalesnikova or Dixon. It's going to be crazy. Axel said Daria got robbed. Yeah, that was a crazy stoppage. I didn't like that stoppage. Tay said chilling under the air conditioner as it's hot as hell. It is not spring anymore, y'all. Like they said summer is in 2 days, but it's here. I like the summer. I hate the bugs though. No, depends on the bug. I like the summer. I don't like driving on black ice, okay? I prefer summer. I mean, spring is my favorite, but I prefer summer over winter because I don't like the winter time because it gets dark too fast. It gets dark too fast and it's depressing. I think the cold is starting to hurt my bones now. What else? Yeah, I don't like snowing. I don't like being stuck in the house. Like, I like to stay home. I like to have the choice to leave the house, but I do not like being snowed in. Like, I want to come out of my house when I want to, but I don't like being forced to stay in. Like, I don't like being snowed in. I don't like driving on black ice. Like, I had to drive on black ice this year from work at night. Man, people still driving like idiots. What's wrong with y'all out there? Like, I felt my car sliding, man. Like, I was driving on black ice back in January. Man, I was praying every second I was on that road, man. But it's crazy. People be going like 60, 65 on black ice. And they be dying. They be going in the ditch. I'm like, y'all, why do it? That's why I don't like it. I mean, there's a purpose to winter, but hey, it ain't for me as far as what I got to do. It is not for me. It makes me depressed. I don't like like I said, I don't like how my body feels. I feel depressing mentally and physically. Like it's hard to go run. It's hard to work out when it's I can work out in 100-degree weather. I'll go outside and I'll run at 95 degrees, but I cannot I can't do it. I can't even work out at home, man, when it's like wintertime because it's just depressing. It's just depressing. As a kid, I used to like the snow, but not, I don't like it anymore. Mm-mm. Tay, see, I don't like the wintertime. Very depressing. I'm not happy. Oh, you live in New York too. Shout out to Tay. She up there in New York. You get that snow. And yeah, I've been up to New York a few times. Well, about one time, yeah, now. And I know it took a while. When I went to visit, person I was visiting, they said, yeah, it takes a while for it to get warmer up there. Y'all don't experience warm weather for a while. So I'll come to New York again sometime though. Like I will. Tay, you got to tell me where to go as far as food, because that's what I like to do. And when I like to travel, I like to go find the best restaurants in New York. I need to try some of these soul food restaurants in New York, for real. Easy, so I like winter. I really got to get to really dress up. I miss having real winters. You can keep that winter, man. All right, but yeah, bantamweight is picking up. All right, look, bantamweight is picking up. I don't, I don't think it'll ever reach Ronda Rousey level again, but bantamweight overall to me has got some more action. Like I think these fights here are going to be good. I think both of these fights are going to end in finishes. Who do y'all got in these fights? I mean, come on. Let me see some hardcore fan picks here, Pick somebody now. I need y'all to pick somebody. I know this ain't Rose versus Valentina or Valentina versus Alexa, but who y'all got in these fights though, man? Come on. I want to see some hardcore picks. Who you picking? I know Axel got his girl Daria. I think Robot said he's got Melissa, right? A rat documentary. New York got some big rats, I'll tell you that. I think the rats there walk on hind legs too, right? They carry briefcases and everything. Easy said Amanda better defend that belt. She lying, yo. All right, Robot said Mullins and Ronda Jr. Axel said Daria. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going with Russian Ronda here, and I think I'll go with Melissa. I think they got it. Okay, yeah. Tay says she live in the suburbs of New York. Yeah, she don't know about the city rats. But yeah, I heard they are big. We got big bugs out here. We got the big bugs that you gotta. These bugs out here, you gotta fight them. You gotta box these bugs easy, because these bugs they'll jump on your back, man. Bugs out here they jump on your back. You gotta know how to scramble. All right, Runnery said Daria, Russian Ronda. All right, but yeah, like I was saying, look, bantamweight is starting to pick up. Bantamweight is picking up because besides these two fights that I think are going to bring some action back, right? We're gonna get some action back. We got some scheduled fight and a call out here that I want to talk about. Look, you got Carol Rosa and Nora Cornell. This one is scheduled. Okay. This fight is scheduled. Let me pull up the date. I already know this fight gonna be crazy, man. This fight gonna be violent, man. Nora Cornell and Carol Rosa, August 2nd. Yeah, this one gonna be wild here, man. I think Nora Cornell, she's got more of a Muay Thai style, but she's got a surprise ground game. Carol Rosa, we know, look, Carol Rosa, she brings action. I'm not saying she bringing wins, but she bringing action. She's 18-7 right now. I think what is she in her last 4 or 5 fights? Let's see. 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss. Ooh, she's 2-3. She's 2-3 right now. Carol Rosa, she fighting for her career right now. She's 2-3. So when you look at somebody like Carol Rosa that's 2-3, she's gonna be trying to bring that action, man. She's gonna be trying to bring them combination and leg kicks, and that's her thing, man. But she gotta have a ground game. See, the thing about Nora Cornell, Muay Thai, but think Nora Cornell, she's been working on that ground game, especially in that last fight, man, when she choked out the grappler, Haley Cohen. Because I was like, don't let her take you down. But when she got taken down a couple of times, I thought the fight was gonna be over. I was like, okay, Haley Cohen gonna get this. But I was like, what's crazy is Nora Cornell might submit her. And that's what happened. That's what happened. It was like GDR submitting Pena. So I see Nora Cornell having a different level here that she might go to. But those leg kicks are powerful, man. I think overall it's going to turn into a violent fight here. I think that Kiara Rosa, Paul said the queen of leg kicks. That thing's like a baseball bat, man. She got baseball bat legs, or crowbar legs, like those crowbars be tearing girls up, man. So I think that that's the one thing that she has, that if you a stand-up fighter, you better have a ground game. Like if she continues to work, you have to have a ground game. And that's what most girls done. Like Eileen Perez had to go to the ground with her, right? Irene Aldana never really had that chance. She just went in there and tried to throw down with her. She beat Penny Kansas with it. She did beat Yana Santos, didn't she? It was a close fight. I don't know. I think Yana Santos might beat her if they fought again. But yeah, like outside of that, I don't see much. Like I just don't see much. But it's still an action-packed style that she's bringing. But I just think Nora Cornell right now, with where she's coming from, if she doesn't miss weight or anything, she could make this fight interesting. And I like Nora Cornell, man. Like again, like with her attitude and her wanting to stay active and wanting this fight against Kiara Rosa shows me that okay, we need fighters like her to get ranked. Right? She ain't one-dimensional. Like I said, like you see a little bit of everything from Nora Cornell. Nora Cornell, she called out Eileen Perez. But Eileen Perez, like, I ain't fighting down. Nora Cornell is ranked number 12 right now. But Eileen Perez is like, I ain't fighting down. That just shows you Eileen Perez is like, yeah, I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to fight for the title eliminator or fight for the title. Which is smart on her part at this point because, like that would put her at risk. But I just think that excuse me. Hold on, fixing something. Where I see Nora Cornell stand right now, as a ranked fighter, close to top 10, she brings action. And I kind of want to see her win. And I kind of want to see her win against Kiara Rosa. I love to see her go in there and, make a statement as a well-rounded fighter. Somebody that's strong and wants to, be another contender here. That's what we need right now. Like we in that stage, we got to see some fighters get weeded out. Robot Chicken said, okay, that's good. That's good. He doesn't twerk anymore. Good. Paul said, how many leg kicks did Kiara Rosa land on Aldana? Let's look. Let's look at that fight. I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but let me check. Kiara Rosa versus Eileen Perez. What were the leg kick stats on that fight? Because look, we'll just have to look because we have to see how effective that weapon is. But outside of that weapon, what else is she going to be doing in there against Cornell? It's got to be something more than just focusing on one leg here because 95 leg kicks. 95 leg kicks were landed in the Rosa Aldana fight. Okay. So that's a good weapon. But Cornell's not really flat-footed like that. She'll move, and I think, she will adjust to it. So, that's a good this will be an interesting style matchup. This is going to be interesting here. Okay. Now, this fight on the right, I don't think this is scheduled yet, but Cavalcanti did go on Instagram, and she posted up a picture and said, hey, this is the fight I want next. So, the UFC, I hope they're listening. Let me see. Cavalcanti. I'm trying to pull it up here. She called out Aldana. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, she challenged her, man. She put the picture up here. There's been a few graphics out there, a bunch of fan-made pictures. She said on Instagram, look, At Irene Aldana, I believe the time has come for us to go to war inside that cage. I want to climb every step up this ranking, every step of this ranking, and you're ahead of me. Hey, all right, that's what you got to do, right? So Irene Aldana, that's the call out. Jacqueline Cavalcanti wants you, and Jacqueline Cavalcanti is hungry. So expect that to happen. Girls like Nora Cornell, Cavalcanti, Perez, they're gonna be making call outs. So the more that fall in here, they got to be, ready to protect their ranking and step their game up and evolve, because Cavalcanti's number 11, Irene Aldana's number 6. Irene Aldana's number 6. That's a good call out for her, and that's a good style matchup. That's a good style matchup. If they're able to put that on for you, are they doing a UFC Noche this year? Seemed like I heard they weren't. Something about Dana White say they weren't because of Canelo Crawford. But that's crazy if they don't. But if Irene Aldana is coming back in like September, that's a good fight. So, with Cavalcanti calling out Irene Aldana, she kind of knows something. They're like, oh, this is a fight that can put me on the map. Number one, Irene Aldana's a dog. That's what test her dog and test her ability to adapt. Cavalcanti, that is. And Aldana's ranking. Aldana's ranking is another thing, right? Aldana's ranking is another thing that she's shooting for here. So if she wins this fight, that puts her right in the middle, top 10. That puts her ahead of Eileen Perez. So that's a good call out for Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti to me is more of a technical striker too. She's smarter to me. I think that she knows her style. It's not like Amanda Nunes fully. Like, she's kind of like Amanda Nunes without the power, but she's a little bit more technical with it. Like, I see her being a little bit more cautious, but at the same time having some flair in there. Like, she hasn't finished too many girls on the field. She hasn't finished a lot of girls in the UFC, but she has that pop and she's got that range that kind of frustrates these girls. And if Irene Aldana is not able to go to another level here, like maybe drop a level, switch a level, take her down or use wrestling, Cavalcanti could take her to school. Yeah, like Cavalcanti knows she could probably smoke her there, like I think the one thing I'll be tested with Cavalcanti is her dog. Like, if she gets pulled into a punching match, like, can she take the left hook? If she starts to bleed and swell, will she be able to stand with Irene Aldana? Does she have the power to keep her off of her for 3 rounds? Just questions like that. So I think that's a good scrap. I think that's a good challenge. I think that's a good call out. Yeah, Jacqueline don't have a lot of power, but yeah, she knows how to control a fight with kicks, leg kicks, and just like overall cage general shit. I don't know if y'all remember that fight. Like, I thought Melissa Croton was gonna beat her, man, but Melissa Croton is a big bantamweight, but she did drop Melissa Croton in that fight. Cavalcanti, that was an LFA fight. Cavalcanti's got some pop and pretty good accuracy. So yeah, man, like, I think Aldana, man, that can't be one she just go in there and say, oh, I can box her, I can do this and do that, and like take her into deep waters. Like, shoot, she might take you into deep waters. Let's see her resume too, man. Cavalcanti. Yeah. So yeah, I believe this is what she said. I believe the time has come for us to go to war inside that cage. I want to climb every step of this ranking. And you're ahead of me. So that sounds like they need to go ahead and schedule that. So yeah, it hasn't been scheduled. Just in case y'all want to see it. It hasn't been scheduled, but could happen now that she's calling for it. See, there it is right there. Who would y'all have in that fight anyway? I see some of y'all probably lean towards Jacqueline, right? Everyone might say, she smokes her. What about you, Robot? Who you got in that fight, Jackie or Irina? Gary said Volkanovski Yair 2 is going to happen. I'm mad. Is it? Ooh, I don't know if I want to see that. Easy said, I hope not. Noche doesn't impress me. They hyped it up too much. Yeah, it probably won't happen. It probably ain't going to happen because of the Canelo Crawford fight too. So, yeah. Axel said, I got Jackie. Might be a low-key brawl. It might It might be if Irene Aldana kind of forces her into a fight instead of a chess match. Mm-hmm. Who do I got? Hill or Roundtree? I got to say I'm leaning heavily towards Khalil Roundtree. Somebody's getting knocked out. I'll tell you that right now. Somebody is getting knocked out probably in 2 rounds, maybe 2 seconds. No, I'm serious. But seriously, this fight might last 2 seconds, 2 minutes, or 2 rounds. 2 rounds, that's pushing. Somebody getting knocked out though. But I am picking Khalil Roundtree. Alex Pieda's sons. Oh man. Roundtree. Roundtree. Roundtree, I think he's just too durable, man. And like, man, like I would love to see. I wish Khalil Roundtree would have evolved a little bit more in his career. I really love how I really love like he just evolved a little bit more and knew how to set that power up into something crazy where he could just win that belt, man. Everybody said Jacqueline by decision or TKO. Okay. Ireneo's zero footwork sometimes makes her fights hard to watch. Yeah, in a technical sense, yeah, the footwork is not what it should be. Too heavy, which leads her to being taken down, like Holly did, right? Too heavy leads her leg to getting chewed up, like Kiora Rosa did. Too heavy just leads to her getting outboxed by Norma Dumont, right? So that zero footwork, like it's going to cost her in a technical matchup against Jackie. Just I know Jackie ready. That's why Jackie calling it, man. Gary Baldwin said cut and angle. He ran it. Yeah, like cutting angles. Cut angles or you get cut. You know what I mean? Like that's why she get cut up because she don't cut angles. You gotta be in there cutting the angle, man. Like cut your opponent off, pivot off. You know you're gonna be boxing with them pivots because she always be walking into big shots. But yeah, I like the fact that yeah she calling her out. Get yours. You know, get yours now because everybody else is trying to step in there. Hey, get your position and go with it. All right. Here's a couple. Wait a minute. And this is another fight. Let me scoot this down. This is another fight I want too, man. Like Norma Dumont. Like this is another thing that's going to help the division to me is Norma Dumont and Rocky. Again, you know, weeding some people out. You know, let's weed some people out, man. Like, no offense to Rocky. I'm just saying, like, you know, Norma Dumont is here. And, you know, I know that she's ready to go. Norma Dumont is number 4. You know, Norma's already you know, she's already in the top 5. You know, Norma's looking like somebody that is wanting to make a statement because since she's been in the UFC, she kind of been getting jerked around from featherweight to bantamweight. Now that she's making weight and she's found a home, you know, she wants a title eliminator, right? 5 fights in a row. 5 fights in a row now. I think that deserves a title eliminator. I don't know what's going on with Rocky though. Like that's the fight she's continued to call for. Okay, I think that's the fight she wants now. But I'm not sure if Rocky's injured. So if they can't get that fight, you know, we got to look for the next best thing, right? And who would that be? Would it be Eileen Perez? Eileen Perez, 5 fights in a row too. Would that be the fight they should do next? I don't know. But I think here, this fight would be the more doable fight because I think experience is something that Norma continues to me, need most love. Like, just fight better fighters. Just fight better fighters so she's prepared for the pressure. You know, Norma, of course, I'll say, okay, there's things she could work on, like maybe pulling the trigger a little bit more, but she seems to be doing that. Maybe go in for the kill because she doesn't have a lot of finishes, but yeah, she's durable and tough. Yeah, she's tough. So I would say Norma's durable and tough. I think that's something that we already know. She's tough mentally and physically. So I think if she gets forced into a fight, I already know that she has heart and she's a fighter. So I think Norma's good there. Like everything checks off. So I think it's more just an experience thing at this point. Like Rocky's just got to be that highest level of experience that she's ever faced now. So that's really what I want to see her fight. How does she handle somebody that has a lot of experience? And that's why I want to see the fight. I want to see her go in there, put a former champ on her resume, and do it in good fashion. Like I said, I don't know if Norma's going to go in there and finish her, but go in there and do it. Go in there and dominate 30-27, whatever she got to do with the style that we know her for. Hey, that's all she needs right now. Put 6 in a row and give her shot after that. So, yeah, I think Norma calling for this fight. This is exciting. Jackie calling for Irene Aldana. This is good. But what y'all think it is, man? Eileen Perez calling for the belt right now, man. Let me pull this thing up. Hold on. What did Eileen Perez say, man? Hold on. I remember a little while back I was supposed to be doing Eileen Perez tweet of the show because she always be tweeting something crazy. Oh, boy. Hold on. Give me a second. In a minute while I'm pulling that up. Robot Chicken said who I got, Ebos or Ricci. I got Ebos. Where is that? What did she say? Where is it? Hold on. Where'd it go? Let's take a look. I think I saved it. Did I save it? Here it is. Okay. Eileen Perez said, I want my belt because it's mine. Juliana Pena finally defended her title, and then I'll go after Kayla Harrison. I'm going to take it from her. I'm preparing a lot. I'm going to come back super strong. I'm ready to be a champion and lots of twerks for y'all. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. That right there, I'm sorry. Look, I'm not even a hardcore Kayla fan, but that right there makes me root for Kayla even more. Look, shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Eileen Perez for wanting to fight for the belt. Okay. Shout out there for wanting to fight for the belt and making the call out. And for fighting a lot of fights too. Like Eileen Perez got a lot more fights than Kayla's has in UFC, no doubt. But if she's going to twerk after the fight, oh no, we can't have that, man. Hey, I give her credit for growing as a fighter. As a fighter, she's developing. But if that's what her main goal is to start twerking after the fight and she take the belt, or if she was to take the belt, no. I'm like, yo, Kayla, get it. Hey, get it in line, girl. Make sure you always on weight. Work on that striking. Hey, I'm rooting for Kayla every day, And not that I ever really like hate on Kayla anyway like that. Like, I'm definitely not rooting against her anyway. Like, the more I see Kayla trying to cut weight too, like I said the other day, I'm like, yo, Kayla, I got to give her a lot of respect, And yeah, some of the things she's been through, as I talked about too before. Yeah, Easy E, like things like that. Like I talked about with Kayla, I give Kayla a lot of respect, even for going to bat for sexually abused boys and girls. Like people always forget about boys in that situation, but just seeing Kayla go to bat for kids in that situation, like that's another thing I respect about Kayla. But I can't do this OnlyFans thing right now. It's just not. I can't do it, man. Can't do it. Can't look at the twerking. It's not a good look. So, but in all reality, okay. I know what she's doing. She's trying to put herself on the map, and it's making the division interesting, right? And it even, like I said, it makes me want to see what's going to happen a little bit more with this girl's career. I mean, Eileen just, I hate to say it, doing what she got to do, but she ain't got to do it like that, but she is. But it's gonna make it even more exciting if Kayla does fight her and or Norma Dumont fights her and they win. But I just think that on the fight side of it, I think that Eileen is getting the right idea of growing as a fighter. But dang, girl, like promote yourself in a different way, man. Like, yeah, Gary, like you got a son. I talked about that before. Like, you got a son, you be twerking in front of your son. And I'm like, come on now. Like, he right there in the cage with you. You know what I mean? Like he's right there in the cage with you. So it's like, why keep doing that mess? Like stop it. Like just fight. Just fight. Cause she's got that part down. Like just go in there and develop as a fighter. Just be a fighter. Cause there's a lot of respect to show her there. Like she is growing as a fighter. Like she's hungry. You winning. You want to fight the best fighters. Just leave it at that. You'll have a fan base, but stop doing that twerking crap. And right again, like right in front of your son, like, do you want him to start doing that too? Like that's the bad part. Like one day he might start doing it, and then you're gonna be like, "Whoa, why is he doing that? Why he acting weird?" Like I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like, come on, he's there at every fight, and you doing that. That just made me uncomfortable. I'm sorry, but anyways, anyways, the fight side of it, yeah, she's putting together a good win streak. She wants to put herself in a position to fight for the title, and it is there. I don't think she wins right now. Like I don't think she beats Kayla, but you never know what could happen. Yeah, strange things happen. Yeah, Pena beating Amanda seems a little bit more realistic. To me, like Pena beating Amanda, yeah, it seems a little bit more realistic though. Pena just had like a style, I think, that just got into Amanda's skin at the time. Here I just see Kayla being a little bit more of a physically gifted athlete, and also just having too much pressure for a fighter like Eileen Perez. Eileen Perez would have to do something big on the feet, which I don't know if she has it in her, but that's the thing. Keep growing as a fighter. Leave the OnlyFans thing alone and just grow as a fighter. I think that she's showing that because, yeah, her and Norma, they have similar records right now. They got more fight experience in the UFC than Kayla. So just grow off of that. Calling her out in itself is good. That's good for the division. So I like what I'm seeing with the division. There's going to be like characters here, but that's just my take on Eileen. Like, I like that she's calling her out, but I don't want to see her twerk after the fight. That just makes me root for Kayla even more there. Okay. Easy said, would you still like Valentina if she twerked on everyone? This is interesting. If Valentina started twerking, no, I wouldn't want to see that either. If Valentina twerked, I would make sure to reach out to Manon and work her corner to make sure she would beat Valentina to a pulp, easy. Because I'm just saying, look, at this point of Valentina's career, she don't need to be twerking on nobody either. At her age as well. Like if she's twerking everybody as well, I'd be like, you need to stop that. Come on now. And the thing is, I think if she kept twerking like that, she wouldn't have a belt. Because I think that it would probably get into her own head, or doing that kind of crap is going to lead to something. Because no champion. Look, if you focus on twerking, you ain't gonna be champion like that. You might get the belt once, but you ain't gonna be no great champion. Like, because Whaley don't twerk. Did Whaley twerk? Nope. Did Amanda? Nope. Did Rhonda? Did Rose? Did Carla? Did Joanna? Did Chris Cyborg? Did Holly? And did any of the fighters that had the belt, held the belt, do they twerk? No. Valentina dances. She dances with class. But outside of that, she wouldn't. She wouldn't. So that's my answer to that. Like, she wouldn't. Like, you mean like maybe like getting in her career if she did that? I would say the same thing. But like, would she do it now? No. Or as a champion, would she do it? No. Because she knows who's watching, And growing up in that atmosphere as a martial artist, not to disrespect the sport like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you grow up in Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu or any of that, and you submit somebody and you start twerking, they're gonna probably start whooping you with them black belts. Or every like Muay Thai fighter in that ring, they're probably gonna start tie clinching you and kneeing you in the stomach trying to twerk. Start kneeing you in your butt. Imagine like Valentina like in a Muay Thai fight, or like Joanna back in the day start trying to twerk. All them little dudes, they're gonna be talking, non-English, they're gonna be grabbing you and kneeing you in your butt, and make you get out the ring real quick. They don't play that crap. Just like in jiu-jitsu, you do that at a grappling tournament, all them gis gonna open up. They're gonna take them belts out and start whooping you. Ain't gonna be nothing but purple and orange belts whooping you across your face and your butt, man. I'm not, I'm being funny. I'm just saying. Paul said, "Have you seen Stamp Fairtex twerk? She be gyrating like Stamp. Stamp is a champion. She's like a fun champion. Like she gonna be twerking like that though. You know what I mean? Like hers is like a Street Fighter 2. You ever see them characters on Street Fighter 2 or was it Street Fighter Alpha? Like the little anime girls. Like Stamp ain't wild like that. Like it's never really like, I don't know. It ain't suggestive like that to me. I never seen like that. Oh man, Easy said you don't see no twerking in no boxing gym. You do not see any twerking in no boxing gym either. Because I'll tell you right now, look, if I see a dude twerking in a boxing gym, I'm gonna put a brick in my glove before sparring. I'm gonna put a couple of rocks in my glove if we sparring. I'm just I ain't saying what's happening with that glove, but I'm just saying put me a couple of rocks in that glove. I was come up in here twerking. And that's just my take. Like all day long. Gary Ball says Stamp doesn't have a son watching her. That's true. That's true. And she just having fun. Like her dancing is kind of PG, man. Like her dancing is PG. Easy said Margarita. Yeah, exactly. Margarita or something like. And that's where I come from with it, man. Like I just want to see respect for the sport because just as if you go out to Thailand, and you go into a dojo, or if you go to a karate dojo or anywhere like that, they don't like that mess. You try, and that's the thing about MMA too. The more it becomes Americanized, you start letting in a lot of WWE antics. Because me personally, I can be satisfied. I'm just satisfied with the fight. Every now and then, I like to see action and tension between people. But when you force stuff, I don't care for that. Even like when I say like Valentina Manon fight was gonna happen, like Manon didn't really need to talk trash back. Like she didn't really need to say anything. Like maybe just call the champion out, but you ain't gotta really talk trash or anything. And I'm glad she didn't go to that level. I'm just saying, like, even on that level, I'm just like, hey, let the fight happen. Even like we go back to Weili and Rose. Y'all remember that situation, right? Like Rose said some things about Weili, then people were like, oh, it caused a whole thing. I was like, see, just shut your mouth and fight, Shut your mouth and fight. Stop twerking. Just fight. That's it. Twerking pay the bills with that OnlyFans crap. But I mean, when you get in the fight game, it's like, just fight. Keep it out of the ring. I think it's the best thing to say. Keep it out of the ring. That's it. Keep it out of the cage. Paul said, now, if Norma wants to twerk, though, no, Paul, we ain't making exceptions. All right, Paul, look, Norma. All right, look, Norma, we ain't making an exception. All right, we are not going to make any exceptions. I don't care, Paul, Alejandra Lara, Denise Kielholtz, nobody, okay? We ain't making no exceptions. Just like that, Easy E. I mean, yeah, Broner doing that to Maidana, I would have threw Broner right out the cage, man, or the boxing ring. I grabbed him by his ankles and flipped him out of there, made him roll out the cage. Him in that little skirt he was wearing in that fight too. All right. Valentina has OnlyFans, but she doesn't use it. Yeah, Aaron Mike. Yeah, she doesn't use her OnlyFans for that kind of stuff. Yeah, she doesn't really use it for that kind of stuff like that. Easy said, I got to roll. I'm sorry. WMMA isn't no worse than some of the men's fights too. People just want to label women as a second-class citizen. It's pathetic. Yeah, Robot. That's what it is. Like, the women's fights are not like second class. Like they deliver action, they deliver classics too. They deliver some of the best fights that we've seen, in the world of MMA. Like I said, even my dad, he was like, man, some of these women fights are more exciting than the men's. And he came from boxing. And he started watching MMA, he started watching UFC back in like 95 when it was, when they didn't have no uniforms, when they were just coming in there in their street clothes. I didn't even like MMA back then when he started watching it. But even my dad, as years progressed, when I started watching it more, and I introduced like Gina Carano and some of these other girls to my dad as for fighters, he was like, man, he's like these girls, he's like they're more exciting than the men. Even like Amanda Nunes, when my dad was watching, my mom used to watch Amanda. My mom was a fan of Amanda Nunes. She was like, oh, I like these fights better than the men. She was like, it's not a lot of holding and grappling. She was like, I like watching these, So, yeah, like I thought the women are always just bringing it. Axel Seminole didn't talk trash after a call. She just said she felt disrespected, and journalists kept talking about it. Yeah, Axel, I know, but it was just like when they asked the question, I was just like, don't answer it no more. Don't say anything. Please don't say anything. Just fight. Don't even answer that question anymore. Easy said you got to respect women that fight. How many women on the planet are that confident, brave, and strong? It's not a women's nature to do this. That's why they are special. Yeah. And keep up with men too, and keep up with them too, as far as, just like endurance and stamina. Of course, you never be as strong as the actual man, as far as men fighters. But I mean, for their weight class and for their category, for a woman to keep up and beat the women that they're fighting and look way, way impressive in doing it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, when I first seen it, like when I first seen the first few women's fights, I was ever watching, I was like, whoa, this is some good stuff. I remember that do y'all remember that one reality show? It was like a Muay Thai reality show. I think Felice Herrig was on it. I used to like watching that show. This was like way back, man. Let me see if I can find that show. Hold on. It was like a boxing show or Muay Thai show. What was it? It was a reality show Felice Herrig was on. Let me see if I can find that show while I'm on here. Oh man, anybody remember that show? I'm showing my age now. Running Rini said, "Yeah, I remember that." Yeah, what was that show? It wasn't bad either. It came on like around the time when they made that Contender Series show. It's almost like a 20-year-old show. Let me see. Is it Unconquered? What is that reality show? I don't think anybody remembers it else, Running Rini, but who else remembers that? Fight Girls. Fight Girls. I think that's the one. Hold on. Who else was on that show? Then when me and BJ do a show next week, we need to kind of talk about some of these fighters. We were talking about fighters the other night on his stream about girls that we ain't seen. Like, what was her name? Aisling Daly. What was her name? Aisling Daly. So many girls. Yeah. Fight. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michelle Watterson was up here. And Gina Carano was their mentor. She was a mentor up here. Yeah. Felice Herrig and Michelle Watterson was on this show. Oh, it was 2007. Yeah. It's almost 20 years old. Yeah. Camp Candy Robot Chicken. Do I remember that show? Hold on. I have to see a face or two. Oh, you talking about like that? Oh, that cartoon. I remember you saw that. John Candy. That John Candy cartoon. Camp Candy. You got me thinking of that show. What's it called? Bobby's World now. Um, yeah, I remember Bully Beatdown. Bully Beatdown with that dude that what was his name? He went crazy now. Bully Beatdown was interesting. Easy said Felice Herrig was good. I hated people that didn't like her. She had some problems, but she was decent. Yeah, she was a good kickboxer. I liked her in Muay Thai and kickboxing though. Paul said that's why Joan of Arc is the most interesting person of all history. She led French armies in a battle of 14 years old. You're 14 years old. I mean, to have that type of mindset. I mean, anybody at like 14 too. Like to me, to have that mindset, let alone a woman, to have like a strategic mindset. Mm. Well, back then, I mean, talking way back, you were forced to kind of grow in age, and you talking about way back. I mean, even biblical times, King David and all of them. The young guys that were forced to fight and go to war at that age. Michelle Waterson should have went to ONE FC. Yeah, Michelle Waterson could have went to ONE FC. I think so. Yeah, Michelle Waterson and ONE FC. And yeah, she was on Bully Beatdown before. DC was, yeah, Jason. Yeah, Jason Mayhem was the host. Yeah. He's been having some legal issues now though. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that was yeah, when I really want to talk about, the bantamweight division is starting to look a little bit more interesting. Even without Amanda, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really like I'm definitely gonna tune in when Amanda comes back, when Amanda makes her comeback, but I'm not really like waiting for Amanda's return like that. What about y'all? Like, what was y'all's take? Amanda Nunes come back, yay, or how are y'all on Amanda's comeback? Yay or nay? I mean, to me, I'll watch it. Just like every fighter that comes back, that is coming back, I want to see. All right, can they do it? Can they do it different than somebody else? Or will they mess up their career? Will they tarnish their legacy? Robot said Nunes should stay retired. Running Ring said nay. Oh yeah, Axel, I haven't watched that interview yet too with Aldrique. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it after I record my video first. I'm gonna record a video because I still gotta record that video. I want to talk about what went wrong in that fight, Shevchenko Fior fight. I was supposed to do one with Grasso Silva too, just kind of like analyzing. I want to do what went wrong. Juliana Pena, I did that one quick because come on, that was Juliana Pena. Juliana Pena, what went wrong? That was easy. But I mean, on fight, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what she needs to work on. Nunes should have stayed retired. Yeah, Runner Ring said nay. Easy said, I don't think Nunes should have come back, but it's personal. Handle your business. Amanda's low-key overrated fight. Overrated. Uh-oh. Amanda's low-key overrated. I don't think she's overrated, but her comeback is overrated as far as like saying, oh, we need her. Oh, she's going to run it. She's not invincible. I'll tell you that right now. Like, that's the thing that makes me respect Amanda's height. Amanda has been able to make do with a lot of things that I see that a lot of girls could have exposed, but they couldn't. And some have, but Amanda's been able to come back, make her come back and do her thing, and some of these other girls still can't see it, But to me, I think that her comeback isn't like something that's going to say, oh, she's back, everybody should be scared. It's not like she's going to come back and take over and take the division higher than she did before, or higher than she did or higher than Ronda ever did, It's not really going to make some big difference and make WMMA better. Now, her fight with Kayla, that's a good one-off. That's a good one-off. Like you say, yes, it's personal, right? Quote unquote personal to her. But to me, it doesn't really make some type of thing that says, okay, beat Kayla, run this division again. You just want to come back for Kayla, fine. Boxers do that all the time too. They come back for big money fights, and legend versus some up and comer. But sticking around, like trying to repeat history, I don't really think that's necessary. And again, like I said, the style of Amanda's like, it's not difficult to figure out with some of these girls now. When they're on a tear, like you're dealing with a Norma, Cavalcanti, Kayla too. Kayla being just so physically gifted too, man. Like there'll be some bumps in the road. There'll be some bumps in the road. But the fighter mind is almost like an addict, right? It's almost like an addict. You're addicted to it. Robot Chicken said Chip and Dale and DuckTales was my jam. I never really watched it. I like Darkwing Duck the best. Robot. Darkwing Duck was my number one. That and Goof Troop. Darkwing Duck was number one, then Goof Troop. I never really watched Chip and Dale or DuckTales. I mean, I like Donald and all those cartoons, but I just never got into those. The Darkwing, oh yeah. Hands down, Darkwing Duck was, always like my top 5 cartoon. Axel said, I'll send you my thoughts on what went wrong from No. 2. I haven't talked with you about it. Okay, cool. Easy E said, Amanda showed some real growth. No one was figuring she would become the GOAT back in the day. She was good. Yeah, she was good, yeah, but very flawed, yeah. Everybody said it's in that sense, I think that she's overrated. She's glazed if she was going to be, she was going to do the solo. She was going to do the solo division or have some kind of revolution there. Yeah. Easy said I was a Ninja Turtles guy. Ninja Turtles is actually on Tubi, the whole show. If you want to binge watch it, all 10 seasons is on Tubi. I ain't gonna lie, I was playing it the other day when I was out of town, taking some time off. I was hotel. I had that just playing in the background. Paul said Scooby-Doo was a GOAT. Scooby-Doo. Nothing beats Ghostbusters or He-Man. For me, Aramite said Amanda is the Bantamweight GOAT, not the G. Not the G. He said that's all. She's not the greatest women's fighter of all time. The whole Mount Rushmore thing, I don't know, man. Like, I have to take my time with that one. I mean, it's not like there's a gang of them like heavyweight boxing or boxing period, but that's what makes it harder. I mean, my GOATs for boxing, of course, is like I like Ali. It changes because I like James Toney, Evander, Lennox Lewis. Robot say Transformers, G.I. Joe's, Thundercats. I tried to watch Thundercats again, but I couldn't. I can still watch He-Man. I'm watching it now. I'm watching He-Man now. Like, I'm binge watching that. And now I'm watching what's up, She-Ra. But yeah, Thundercats. I have to sit down and watch it. I tried, but I couldn't. Scooby-Doo though. Yeah, Scooby-Doo was crazy because it was always somebody. It was just a bad person. Never really a monster. Just a bad person, which is true, right? There's never really a monster. It's always people doing bad stuff. That's what it usually is, right? But yeah, we got this coming up Friday. Just a reminder. Okay. We got Friday flyweight fights at 8:30. And at 9 p.m., LFA 211 kind of cross times with this fight schedule. So I'm pretty sure that they won't be on at the exact same time. This is a main event, so it might actually be on after the Carmouche fight, because the Carmouche and Dana fight is not a main event. I don't think it's like a co-main event. So yeah, probably be able to see all. Definitely, I'm gonna catch all three of these tomorrow. So you got these three fights, and then the two bantamweight fights. Keep an eye out for. So yeah, Easy said Gargoyles. Yeah, Gargoyles. That was a good cartoon. That was good. I like that. Of course, I like Spider-Man and X-Men. That Spider-Man from like '94 and X-Men. Yeah, I actually like Spider-Man better than X-Men though. Might said Whaley and Valentina are actually goats. Okay. Yeah, Valentina, yeah. Whaley, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Like, I can see Whaley, stamping her position now with a lot of things that she's done. She'll go down as somebody that's remembered. I need to probably see a few more years before I actually put her down as like a great though. But yeah, Valentina, no, like I'll definitely say her first before Whaley, because she's been in this game a long time. So yeah. We were actually talking about this the other day, Ermite. I think it was Robot asked me who my Mount Rushmore was, and yeah, we were talking all about Valentina and everything. So yeah, definitely Valentina. And Ronda too. Like Ronda did a lot of things too. Like Ronda was a pioneer. Like just to bring in, Ronda brought in a lot of people in the WMMA, because that's why now it's hard for the division to really meet that bar now, because they don't have anybody that's exciting. Yeah, Batman was a good cartoon too. I like that Batman. Yeah. Batman animated series. Yep. Axel said in France we were watching Princess Sarah making all generation children depressed. I didn't even heard of that. Wow. Now you're gonna have to make me do some research to see what you're talking about. If Whaley ever got revenge on Rose in the third fight, would that help to seal her status as a GOAT? I think that would definitely like add to it, because as you tell her story, you could say, remember she lost to this fighter 2 times, but she showed her growth by fighting this girl again at a higher weight and beating her, because Rose at flyweight, she's not a pushover. Like Rose at flyweight would kind of even the odds between her and Whaley, like it would kind of make them both on an even level now, because Whaley being a little bit smaller, but learning more and being evolved, versus Rose, who's had about 5 fights at 125 but hasn't won a belt. She's still a very durable, skillful fighter, right? So both at 125, getting a little older, getting a little bit smarter, and now at a weight where it suits both of them, it would still mean a lot to me. I think it would. I think it would be, of course, it wouldn't be as high level or significant because it's not for belt, but I think it would help seal her status to say, okay, she was able to come back and beat this girl at a higher weight now. I think right now, at any point, as long as Rose is not like on some type of 4 or 5 fight losing streak and has been knocked out a couple of times or 3 times, I think that Whaley is able to still get some good get back off of that fight for sure. It would still mean something. Easy said Ronda's attitude was always terrible. I'm glad she fell as hard as she has. She deserves all the karma she's getting. Hey, yeah, everybody learns. Everybody learns. Yeah, there have been people saying things about her in WWE as well. Like, I don't know if it's like an entitled thing, but sometimes you just hear that tone of like still not being humble, right? Like we say, okay, she experienced a lot, but did she learn from it, right? If there's always an excuse behind the loss, doesn't really sound like somebody's been humble, right? Sometimes I just want to hear a person say, "Hey, I wasn't up to it. I lost. That's it." And that's why you gotta, I mean, factor in everything in life. Factor in everything in life and just say, hey, "This is why I lost." It's not an excuse of just like, "Hey, I took it into the cage with me when I shouldn't have." Took some bitterness into the cage with you. If you do that, that's not an excuse. Hey, you lost. Can't use that as no excuse. It wasn't no handicap. You shouldn't have did that. Juliana Pena, man. I know I wanted to mention that, but I might have to talk about that tomorrow or something, like another video. It's getting late now, but yeah, I know Easy brought that up, but I was listening to Pena's interview now. That fight kind of humbled her, man. That fight kind of humbled Pena too. I'm surprised. Like, I thought she was gonna stand on ground with a lot of things, but maybe she thought she was wrong with some stuff. But even like Pena mentioned on a lot of injuries, I'm like, hey, we didn't hear about that. We didn't hear about that going into the fight, and it really shouldn't be something to hinder you from performing again. Like, as far as like taking away from Kayla's victory, because we all know injuries are part of the game. Nobody comes into the cage or the ring 100%, right? We all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? Nobody is ever 100% when they get in the cage. It's about being able to overcome that and compensate for that. You get into a fight, you're never going to be 100%. Easy says she came in there and gave her everything when these other girls were hustling for everything they got. Yeah. Paul said, I was once part of the Blanchfield Army, but I left them for the Zane gang. I thought you might have left the Blanchfield Army for the Barber Army or the barber shop. I mean, that would be a logical reason, right? You can't be on the Blanchfield Army. I'm part of the Blanchfield Army, but you can't be part of the Blanchfield Army in the barbershop, though. You got to be part of the barbershop. Got to pick your side on that one, definitely, because they would kick your butt right off that team. No, I'm a part of Manone roster. Look, I'm still rocking with Manone. See, I ain't like some people. I still believe Manone can come back. I still think she beats a lot of the top fighters, and she'll get that belt here soon. Or if she wanted to, I think she could move up to 135. I personally don't want to see Manone move up to 135 until she can get one more shot at this belt, man. Aaron might said I like Aaron, but her reaction to the Macy situation was nasty work, in my opinion. I can kind of see where Aaron's coming from, but from the fans' perspective, I think the fans that are still talking junk about Macy's situation, they got to get off of it now. It happened. And like I said, we personally aren't in her shoes. We don't know what happened. I know things were thrown out there, but as fans, I think I know Aaron's reaction was, that's part fighter, that's the fight in her, and plus like the history Aaron had with Macy, like, yeah, it was a little nasty, I know she said her life was messed up and everything, but yeah, I wouldn't have said that. Like, I don't think her life's messed up. I'm just saying, like, she got issues going on, like sickness, illness. Yeah, from the fan perspective, they just need to, hey, take it, say, hey, man, like, wish her the best. That's it. If you really her fan. Paul said, he said, I'm actually the only remaining member of Team Barber. I think you are, man, because Easy said the barbershop is closed for now. Man. He said, he said, get your fade up somewhere else. The barbershop is closed. Air might said Manone is a natural bantamweight. I would like to see her at bantamweight one day. I would like to see her at bantamweight one day. Yeah, I'm definitely not mad at Macy Robot. Get well, get back in there, because it's not ruining anybody's life. I mean, you got to think, man, like, it probably crushed her not to be able to get into the cage to fight. And now you got to get online, and people gonna keep bugging you. Sometimes I have to look at it in that way too, man. Like now, when you get on social media, you got to keep on not even having to answer that question, but people just keep saying stupid stuff. Paul said the Macy game. Man, I used to think BJ was part of the barbershop, Paul. I know BJ ain't in here right now. BJ was part of the barbershop. But BJ, man, them clippers cut his hand one time. He's like, ooh, let me put that down. Oh man. When I started talking about them resume, he was like, oh. BJ and that cut hair, man. BJ left the barbershop too, man. You better going back, man. I was like, you better get off this Macy. Go back to the barbershop. He's like, don't try to jump on the Blanchfield Army. Eremites, I can see where she's coming from, but the fact Aaron remained in fighting mode was a little childish. She went personal, which objectively in a better position than Barbara with fans and rankings. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they do easy. All of them look at the comment section. That's why they be posting the negative comments all the time. Running ringside thought Macy could beat Rose. She could. All athletes do. They do. That's what. Hey, if they didn't, they wouldn't turn the comment section off, right? Got you all there. Got them. Got the fighters there. Ain't that right? Easy. I mean, if they didn't look at the comment section, they wouldn't turn the comment section off, and they wouldn't block people. I know some of y'all. I don't know who in here, but some of y'all used to tell me like, "Oh, so and so blocked me." I was like, "Dang, for real?" On Twitter, like I'm not. I don't even use Twitter, so I never been blocked before like that. But I don't know if somebody on here said Megan Anderson blocked them. I was like, "What?" But yeah, fighters, athletes look at the comment section because when you see the comment section turned off or if you see people being blocked, why would you block them? You wouldn't have to do that. Air Mike said left lacked the self-awareness or knew the full well Macy would get ragged on. She knew full well Macy would get ragged on online and was spiteful. She had thousands of followers wait for that ammo. She gave them. Yeah, I was like, I ain't gonna give people that ammo. I was like, nah, like just being real. Like I was upset that night, but what am I? I'm just a fan. Like I'm just watching the fight. That's it, right? I ain't gonna cuss Macy out. I ain't gonna say nothing Macy like that. Like, cause what did it do to me? Like, it didn't do no damage to me. If anything, she got a lot going on. Easy said, yeah, if you're a high level athlete, you're supposed to laugh at those couch potatoes. Yeah, right. Same way we do. Like, I'm not fighting anybody, but I actually laugh at the other fans that, disrespect the fighters. Paul said, do you think a healthy Macy Barber could beat a lot of bums at 135? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, I think her weight would be comfortable and I think her power would carry up and you would get a lot of what she's done to some of these flyweights just at a higher weight, Yeah, like, because there's a lot of big girls there, man. Like, there's a lot of big girls I think are just big, but they don't really have like a striking threat like Macy Barber. Like, Macy Barber, like, I still think she needs to set up her knockouts more, but she does like have her power and she knows she has it. Like, even though she's in flyweight, like, yeah, she's still gotten like to a point where I could say, okay, if she fought at bantamweight, that would probably suit her better because she would feel better and she'd be fighting better than some of these girls. Because yeah, she fights better than so-called, I'll say the lesser girls of a bantamweight. Only thing they would have is size on their side, but if they don't know how to use it, it's not real on their side, is it? Yeah, I think we got Stephanie Edgar, Jocelyn Nunez. Yeah, I think Macy Barber could beat them. I think we're getting to like rough territory when you talking like the lower ranked girls like Yana Santos. Even at this point, man, like I don't know, man, she could beat Misha Tate if she can stay on the feet. But Misha Tate's got some pretty good takedowns in wrestling, so that would be a push. But Zalesnikova, yeah, but yeah, I think a healthy Barber could do some things. All right, y'all. But I am done for tonight. Good show. Appreciate y'all coming through. And yeah, I'm gonna be watching some fights this weekend. And I will get back to y'all as the fights go down, maybe do some reactions here because I think we're gonna get some finishes through PFL, man. And, I just want a good finish. I think this LFA main event will be a finish. Make sure y'all watch these fights too. I'm not playing, y'all. Watch these fights. Y'all better watch these PFL and LFA fights this weekend. If y'all ain't watching it and y'all can't talk to me about it next week, I'm blocking you. All right. If you can't tell me you saw BMC and Dinwiddie fight, yeah, I'm blocking. Because I'm telling y'all now, it's a good fight. The PFL fights, I know y'all probably gonna check out. So I'm telling y'all now, just so y'all know where these girls are coming from when they come to the UFC. Check it out. All right. But on that, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one, which will probably be, of course, next week. I know for sure we're going live Tuesday. Me and BJ will be live. Yeah, we'll be live Tuesday for sure. But let me see something here. Just closing something out. There we go. Yeah, for sure. Be live on Tuesday to talk some fight stuff. But yeah. Yep. Later, y'all. And yeah, no casuals. No casuals. Casuals can come in. Casual. I know casuals will come in if I bring up Zhang Weili's name, right? So it's all good. Air might said add you on the gram. Okay. I'm actually not on there, but maybe once a week now, just taking a break from Instagram. But go ahead and add me. And yeah, if you send me a message over there, I'll go ahead and pull it back up again and get with some of y'all on there. All right. Later, y'all. Peace.